What's up now, everyone? This is Raz, and you're listening to Void Signal. Keep on rocking.
Microphones, and now the only one that's working is the one I used to play on Steam.
That's fine.
Yeah.
What are you playing on Steam?
So what is that? Not Dead by Daylight. Dead by Dawn. I play it with my friends. I usually just play Elden Ring, but my one friend's like, "Oh, you got to play this," and it's that one where they're I don't know, like everyone's just like working against you to kill you, and you got to like get rid of them traps. Is it Dead by Daylight?
Dead by Daylight? Where you're like, where one person's the serial killer and...
Yes! Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I play that online with Shane from Waste.
Oh, right on. Okay.
That's fun.
Yeah, I usually it's just everyone screaming and stuff. Oh wait, can you still hear me? Or
Yeah, I can still hear you.
okay.
And yeah, like it's a fun game for that. Like getting people together and like playing through a horror movie together. Like it's a blast.
Yeah. It used to be, everyone that I knew would play it late at night, but I'm an early kind of guy, and I had a lot of trouble sleeping. And it wasn't like it would scare me; I couldn't sleep, but like I'd just get so fired up and excited, like I couldn't get to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That song, or that band, or not that band, that game raises my fucking blood pressure. Like, my heart
same.
will be pounding, and I'm like, ugh, and then I can't sleep either. I can only play it for like an hour or two, and then I'm like, I gotta take a fucking break from this.
Yeah, that's as far as I go, and then my friends will play it. I don't know, all night.
Yeah,
8 hours or something like that.
But
they don't sleep, so.
Right. Well, it's good to talk to you. I'm glad that you got your mic fixed and everything, and that we finally made this work and everything. You're getting ready for the tour and everything, like, pretty soon, yeah?
Ugh. Yeah, I mean, I haven't. If I do the math, what is it? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4.5 weeks from today.
Yeah, pretty soon.
I've been doing everything in my power to put it out of my mind, honestly.
Oh, cool. I'm glad I brought it up for you.
Oh, no. I mean, like, obviously now is crunch time. Now I have to do it. But, like, there were just so many things that just, like, happened naturally to keep me from thinking about it. And then things that I put in my own way to keep from thinking about it. Because I haven't even been on a tour in, like, 5 years. So it's like, it's crazy because, my life's so different now. I have, like, a cat and all this other cool stuff. And I almost feel guilty, like, leaving. Like, he's like, oh, is my cat going to think I'm dead? And
oh, yeah, I feel super guilty about that shit, too. Like, yeah, that thought would cross my mind. 5 years is a long time. Like,
yeah. I mean, it's weird. It didn't seem like that long. And, 2017 was the last one. So, I mean, I guess it's almost close to 6.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah.
I mean, so you have a cat. What else is different from 6 years ago, David?
I kind of like... Well, during that panda, I don't know, everyone changes. Like, during that small period of time, that panda, it makes us sound so much more fun.
I mean, it sounds way more, like, more innocent and innocuous when you say that, but, like, I was like, wait a second, that's a bad thing.
Pandas are a horrible thing. I mean, if you see what they do to...
That's
true.
No,
maybe I'm thinking of the polar bear.
Maybe.
My bad.
Yeah.
The panda's no red panda, but I don't know. Like, you go through that thing, and I had this brief period of time where I was just like, I guess I'm okay not doing anything like this ever again.
Right.
And then, like, like there was that little like Last of Us or Walking Dead moment where it's just like it's just most important to, like, I don't know, keep alive, and I don't know, it refocused what was important, and then, like, the next thing you know, like, you just kind of want to do it again because you can't really help. I don't know. I guess it's just like a mentality, right? Like,
sure.
It feels like a mental illness wanting to do this stuff sometimes.
Ooh, yeah, it does. I mean, like, because there are the nights where I'm like, I can't sleep. I just want to go do things. And, like, yeah, no, I get that. But, wow, 5 years. So are you, I mean, do you remember, like, do you have, like, a modus operandi for, like, going on the road? Like, oh, I'm, slipping back into, like a pair of old shoes that you're, like, putting back on? Or is it, like, a fresh experience?
I think it'll be easy. I mean, I haven't done my own band. I haven't done a show since, well, not counting the one I did in May, but, like, a proper, like, I wasn't doing shows since, like, 2009, 2010.
Oh, wow.
Something like that. Yeah, so it's a little alarming that I had, like, one show in May, and I was always used to the way we always had it set up was, like, me and then, like, a drummer and then someone else, and that was the first show we did without a drummer, and that just felt, like, so alien. I know so many people are used to like doing it that way, but, like, I felt, like, frozen and stiff. So
yeah,
but I don't know. I had my first, like, rehearsal like a week and a half. Well, rehearsal with, like, my other band member, like, a week and a half ago, and I was like, oh, okay, I think I can do this again. Like,
oh, are you gonna have live drums?
Yeah.
Cool,
my
cool.
friend Christian's gonna be out there, so
Yeah, I think that's cool. I think live drums, especially if it's even with, like heavy electronic industrially kind of stuff, like supplanting like a live drummer, I don't know, it brings a lot of like spark and energy to it. Like, it feels exciting. Like, I don't know. I think it brings a lot to the performance for sure.
I still remember, when there were like bands just vehemently, oh my God, I can't talk. They were just straight up against like bringing like a live drum, like a full kit kind of thing or whatever. But it really does make the difference. Even like songs that like I did in May, just going back to like rehearsing it, and just like, oh my God, like this makes me want to run around. Whereas like I felt like frozen to the mic stand. I mean, I also had my mother-in-law at that show too, but it was like all these like things that just make you frozen. It just gives you the extra push, and then other people can put their eyes on something else other than you. So that's like a mental thing. It's good for me. Like,
yeah, it brings a lot of energy on its own, for sure. Yeah. So that's super cool. Well, I do kind of want to ask. I mean, like, just in case nobody has any idea who you are, because I didn't know for a long time. You mentioned that you've been doing this a long time, and like the first genCAB release came out, 2008, something like that?
Yeah, 2008. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, you've been doing it for a little bit, for a minute, but I don't know if you just had to kind of boil down.
And then I quit.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, like what happened, or?
I mean, you don't have to say what happened, but just like kind of where'd you come from? Who the fuck is David Dutton? Why should listen to you or genCAB?
Oh, I can't tell anyone that.
I mean, maybe maybe you don't know the answer to that one, but
because you gotta tell me I'm good. Someone tell me I'm good. No, I don't know. Like I was just, just like anyone, like messing around with music, and all of a sudden you do stuff, and then a couple people like it, and then they convince you to do an album, and then all that kind of stuff. And I basically got attached to Hive Records and did an album. I don't know. It was just. I felt like I was doing stuff differently than other people, so I really didn't know. I didn't even think anybody would like it at all.
Right.
And then I put out that first album. We did a couple shows, and then basically at the same time. So I'm really good friends with Daniel Graves. Like we kind of like started around the same time, and then I had started playing live with him in 2007 actually, with the first U.S. Necessary Response tour.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so it kind of just interweaved with that. And I mean, if to just be bluntly, like he was getting better shows than my band was. So I convinced him to take my drummer, Tim Van Horn, out on the road. And then from, I guess, in between 2008, 9, 10 and everything, we started focusing on doing that more because me and Tim were just like kids who never had like that opportunity to like travel for music or anything like that. And then just, things just kind of like naturally separated. We were doing that more. And then I had like a hard drive crash in 2010 and lost like the whole next album I was working on. And I took like the baby way out and just like, smashed the computer. Like, oh, this is horrible. I'll never get this back, and gave up. But
I mean, in your defense, I would definitely also do the baby way. I would definitely just like kick my feet and lay on the floor and cry and be upset.
I don't know how people. I don't know if you're a person who backs things up. I wasn't. Now I am. I learned.
I am now. Now that I have a podcast where like I have shit that I could lose that's important, I have taken data protection much more seriously.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's wise.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I don't know. I just basically bowed out for a while until I started playing again live in 2014 because, like I said, it's like that weird, like, I don't know if you call it calling. It's just like, you have to do this. Yeah. You're not going to be happy unless you do this. And then
it's like a
joined AP again. Oh, yeah, dude. It's ridiculous. Like, even, like, I always tell my wife, too, when, like, another year goes by, it's like, all right, I'll just do this one last thing, and then I think I'll be good. And then, like, or, you're working on something else, and you're like, oh, wouldn't it be great, though, if I pushed this a little bit, or, like, did another 3 songs, and then before you know it, you're just, thinking about it every day, like, at night, like, and now here it is, like, I literally, that's what I said with this last album, like, I think around March, I was like, that's good, I got that out of my system. Now, all of a sudden, I'm doing a tour, like, I think it's been literally a year since I brought this back, like, I never would have thought I'd be doing this and spending this much time and
Yeah.
and money on what's essentially a hobby, right?
Right. I mean, that's how it is for most people in the scene, is that it's a hobby until it's not. But yeah, it does seem pretty fast, pretty wild. I think that I mean, I'm not trying to like belittle your own accomplishments or anything, but I think that like you're being able to get up there in front of like people as far as like the Aesthetic Perfection tour, I think it has really helped get a lot of eyes and a lot of ears kind of on what you're doing, and it seems to have helped a hell of a lot.
Oh yeah,
the people in that Electronic Body Memes Discord server, they love your ass.
Really? Oh,
yeah, for sure, man. Like,
I feel bad. I haven't dipped in there, and I always forget Discord is like a thing, and I've only really started using it like a couple months ago. So, but well, that's cool. I did, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I've been trying to use it way more. I made like a Void Signal Discord server like forever ago because I was like, yeah, I'll just put it together and I'll record my interviews and shit on here and people can talk or whatever. And then I just kind of never did anything with it. But yeah, like it's super active and fucking dude, Discord is like where it's at because people are fleeing social media to go to Discord because they don't have to see ads and deal with all kinds of shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say like everyone. Yeah, it's cool. Like it almost feels like the old days of like AOL chat rooms and things like that.
I mean,
like Industrial Baby and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Discord is basically just a fancy IRC chat, but I mean, that's okay.
Exactly. No, but that's good. I mean, I miss those days, like them old days of the internet. Like, actually, I don't even know how old are you? Are you like the same age as me? I'm 41.
I'm almost 40. So yeah, basically, yeah. The old days of the internet. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was cool. Like I remember promoting music, just going on AIM and just searching interests, and it'd be like Skinny Puppy, Industrial, and just cold messaging people mp3.com.
Oh man. I had on AOL, I had a mailing list of people who like I would send MP3s to, and dude, it took forever. I would like have to just fucking sit and like it was fucking dial up and shit. I'd have to upload MP3s and it would take ages.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
So I mean, if I'm taking the time to upload it and share it, like it fucking means something. It took like 40 minutes of my time or something, like a long time. So
people listen too, because they'd sit there waiting for it, and they'd listen. Like nowadays, you can send a song to someone, and it's I'm at work. I'll check that as soon as I'm done, and I'm like, that's code. You're not going to listen to it. I get it,
right?
But like, now I don't know. Back then, it was back in my day,
back in the day. Oh man, I was like 14, 15, something like that, and I messaged Tom Shear on AOL.
Oh, right.
Because I found his, somebody told me his fucking screen name, and I was like asking him questions about fucking lyrics, like typical like teenager shit or whatever. But like he was very patient and very nice to me. But like, what a fucking weird time. Like
so it was like a cold message. Like, like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
But man,
it seems so much more magical.
It does seem a little more magical. Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that was also during a time when like a lot of the bands that I've discovered and that I have like, kind of devoted my life to in a way, now that I run a podcast and shit, is like are bands that I discovered because somebody ripped an MP3 and sent it to me, or like, or somebody was like, I downloaded it off of like, some file sharing thing. I don't want to say Soulseek too loud. I don't want.
Oh, that was my favorite one though.
Same.
That was the one where. Oh yeah, you get like these like B-side stuff no one had. Yeah. Maybe like one person had it, and then you just get it, and it's just like boom. Where you didn't have to wait for what were the other ones like Napster or LimeWire where you needed a few people that had it. Like,
or you'd find somebody in Germany who had like the vocal version of a song, and you're like, oh my god, I didn't know there was a vocal version. So you have to like and then you're like, who does these vocals? Who even is this? This is amazing. And it was like there was something kind of like it was the equivalent of like digging through the fucking record bins and shit. Like to me, is like you're flipping through to like, oh, that sounds cool. And just downloading random shit.
Some of that stuff too, I remember like getting things like that, just like in bulk downloads.
Oh, yeah.
And every once in a while, a song will pop up to me, and then of course you can't find it anywhere on streaming anymore. It's like
Right.
maybe if you're lucky, someone put like a 56 kilobyte like MP3
Right.
on YouTube, or really that's it. Like, yeah.
Oh man, I know that feel. There's been some stuff that I've tried to go and look up that I'm like, I can't find it any fucking where, because it was some like Latvia band that like put out like an EP in like 2002, and that was it. And then it's like I'm damn it, I wish I could hear that. I want to hear that like in the car without having to move the MP3 into my fucking phone or whatever technological first world problem.
Yeah. Well, I'm still pro people stealing my stuff if they want, or at least sharing it. I don't want to say stealing. Actually, stealing is the wrong word. I'm going to say sharing. Yeah.
You share the things you love. That's how I feel about it. Yeah.
It was always there was that brief period of time where everyone felt like people sharing their stuff was stealing, and it's just like, this is the reason why I can't make a living on music. And for most of us, it's just like, it's like, this is the reason you can't get that extra beer, maybe. Yeah. But like,
right.
As far
exactly.
as living, I don't know about that.
But yeah, that's what I end up doing a lot. Man, did you ever use that one that was Audio Galaxy? Do you remember
Yes, actually, that's what I was just going to bring up, because when I said SoulSeek with the one person having a weird thing, I actually for a moment confused it with Audio Galaxy, which is what I had meant. But I did also use SoulSeek all the time. But Audio Galaxy was actually my favorite, just for the fact that seemed like that was the one that really had like the nothing. Like, I'd never even heard this as a thing, and then you listen to it, and most of the time it actually would be legit, but then the other half it would be something that like maybe was mistagged but was still awesome. So, yeah.
Man, Audio Galaxy was fun. Like, I still have MP3s on my computer now from that I got off Audio Galaxy that like songs from rando bands that like I've never found again. Like, they're just fucking, they don't exist or whatever. It's weird. It's wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, it
wild
is become
archive.
Yeah, quite the archive. Yeah, I mean, like, I was thinking about like, I'm gonna do a DJ set maybe of like some of this old rare rando fucking shit that I have. But I was like, but I don't know. I also feel like newer stuff. I guess this is kind of my issue that I run into a lot, is that if I'm gonna take like, we'll just use the people from the Electronic Body Memes Discord server, right? Like, they're pretty younger. Right. On average, they're a lot younger than us, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes time to be like, hey, check out this song, you might like it, it's like, am I gonna go pick some obscure fucking thing from some person in their basement that kind of just put something together? Or am I gonna go like, oh, check out this new genCAB, like, this guy's working his ass off and put a lot of effort into it, and is using like good equipment and whatever. Like, I have that feeling of like, wow, old shit's old shit, and just fucking leave it where it is. And there's plenty of new stuff out to do you ever feel that way?
I don't know. Well, yeah, all right. So to some degree, depending if you're really going to promote something, it's cool to get someone that's actively doing stuff, because if they're going to continue to actively do stuff, like say 15 years from now, I always look at it like that Legacy Festival thing, where it's like the same bands from like 25 years ago always headline, and that's cool. Like, they're awesome and all, but like, what happens when they stop? Like, they stop like just doing shows or touring, and then you got these other guys that have been like working mad hard for like, I don't know, 12 years or whatever. Like,
right?
Are they going to be able to take over that mantle and carry the whole thing? Just for because no one else was like really paying attention like 10 years ago. Like, you want them to continue to thrive and
Right.
But I mean, I don't know. There's a place for that old stuff too. I mean,
For sure.
I still think back to those songs because they totally colored like my 20s and stuff like that. Like all these like weird feelings you get from it. But I don't know. Little bit of equal, but the new folks should get some love.
was always a stride, gave meaning to our decay. Instead of searching for more of the time, we're undercover and playing only the change. We made time, contained to an time, empty. We made a shrine, but I won't mind. Maintain, stable stride, reroute, never survive. So clever, cruel to deny, but I won't mind. I never knew we were starving for attention. We just focused on the play. Always knew we were harvesting perfection. The potential leaves me designed, so refined, so designed, so benign.
Self-consciousness, I'm conscious of that exists. Anxiety is fear that there is so much life inside of me.
I mean, it's like, it's like, okay, if I were to sit down a 20-year-old right now and they were like, what book should I read? It's like, I'm probably not gonna say like, oh, you should read like, I don't know, pick some old like white guy,
Like
dead white guy
Dickens or
staple.
something.
Yeah, like pick
Yeah,
something. It's probably not gonna be that. I'm probably gonna say like, oh, read a author that's alive, because then you can go look them up on social media and like engage with them or whatever. But like, it's same with like movies. Like if somebody's like, oh, I've never seen Casablanca, it's like, you're not missing anything. Your life is not incomplete because you didn't see some old fucking movie that upholds the patriarchy or whatever. Like, like,
Yeah.
I mean, old movies, old texts, old things are problematic as fuck because they're like a time capsule of like a time when the world was more unethical. And so like, I don't know. I just feel like there's so much new good shit. Like, why waste your time? Like, your eyeball time is finite. Your whole time is finite. I wouldn't want somebody wasting their time sitting through, like, it's okay if you've never seen The Godfather. Francis Ford Coppola is fucking great, but your life is not incomplete if you don't see it. Like, that's, I don't know.
Yeah, and I was gonna say even stuff like that too. I mean, like, people from generations, or even just like few years after that grow up with that and like take inspiration from it, and they put that in their own stuff, and then that grows and grows until you get some great modern stuff, and that's the stuff that should be enjoyed. And then when people really appreciate like those kinds of details, then I think it's cooler when people go back. Like, well, why would he shoot it this way? Like, why would it be one continuous shot? And then like goes backwards or whatever. I don't know. I always appreciate that stuff more than like having that like forced down my throat. Like, you have to like this, or you don't like cinema, or you have to listen to this, or you don't truly like industrial music. And it, it's just like, well, I'm not trying to specifically like one thing. I just like what I like, and I like to know what's going on in the world and what
Yeah.
is going on. Yeah.
Oh, I like to like
And then-
what I like for sure.
Yeah, me too. There's no sense in being pigeonholed in the thing. I mean, at least even in my 20s when I tried to like this stuff, like people would just, you don't like the right stuff, or you like this other stuff, so you don't truly like the. I don't know. That used to be such a bigger sentiment. I feel like 15 years ago, 20 years ago than it is now. Thank goodness.
Yeah, for sure. It was, and it was stupid.
Yeah.
It was it was so stupid.
Fucking stupid. Yeah.
Because it was like, I like gatekeepy bullshit. Like, I don't have fucking time for it. Like, not at all. Like, because I dealt with it growing up, and it wasn't cool. It made me feel shitty. And it's like, now that I am, sort of, like, okay, so I mean, like, you and I are, like, we've reached the point, like, we're well enough known inside this scene that it's like, we're cool people. Like, we know cool people. At least.
Yeah. I was saying, I know cool, but I don't know how cool I actually am.
No, I mean, that's always my conceit is like, I'm maybe not that cool, but I'm in close enough proximity to enough cool people that I probably appear that way. But I mean,
I don't know,
like,
man. I listen to a lot of your podcasts, and you're really cool with these people. Honestly, like of all these kind of interview things for these people, yours is kind of the best, man.
Oh,
I mean,
thanks,
like
man.
it flows natural. And like, look, we've never talked before,
Mm-hmm.
and already I feel like this is like flowing like really well. Where I get a lot, well, not a lot. No, I don't have a whole bunch of people interviewing, but like, someone interviews you and it feels so
Right.
canned. Like, what's this? What are you gonna do with this? And then they kind of wait, and then you try to engage them, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's refreshing that yeah, you're very personal. I'm sorry to interject. With
Oh
that.
no! You can interject with stuff like that all the time.
Okay. I'll butter your biscuit.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, like that that's good feedback. I don't get a lot of that, so I do appreciate it, and thank you. Like, this was, I mean, like, similar to your own journey, like when you make music and you're like, I hope people like this. I mean, it was kind of the same for me. It was like I'd never done a podcast, and I didn't look at what anybody else was doing. I just was like, all right, well, if Dan Carlin can make hardcore history, then I'll just try. And so it was like, as like format and everything was all new. And again, similar to making music, are people gonna like this? Is this gonna be cool? Like, who the fuck knows? But
Oh yeah. But it's
so-
hard with no feedback either. I mean, I don't know if you're saying you didn't get a lot of. I never got a lot of feedback when I was making my stuff, so it's just
Oh, really?
I had no idea. I'd sit there for like months, like I have no idea, like what people,
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing how much silence there can be. And I mean, even now, even in the age of like everybody has a voice, it's like people will click your buttons, but like people don't. There's a lot of like little stuff that goes unsaid. And like, honestly, it is, it is worth taking the time to like message artists and be like, hey, your song blah 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 is a banger, or oh, this really put me in a good, like, that shit's small and it's free, and it's like it makes a huge difference to people.
I just did that yesterday with a dude I just met on what is that thing, the Sounds and Shadows thing.
Oh yeah.
It was like a dude, his band's called Executioner's Mask. I don't know if you'd heard. I hadn't heard of it.
No, I
Yeah.
have not.
It's on like Profound Lore. It's like kind of like a hardcore label or like a metal label, but he does like
Oh, cool.
kind of like this gothy stuff. Reminded me of like Death Bells. And he was just basically saying like, oh yeah, my band's out here, and those crowds love us. I just hope that like this crowd will like us, and I just wanted to check it out. And I checked it out. It was awesome. And then it was weird enough. I like check it out, and the dude's like, I'm like in the Philly area. He was too, and
Oh,
like
wow.
he worked with two guys that I had worked for with like another band, and so and then we just became friends. Just basically like, dude, I love your band, and
Yeah.
oh no, yeah, it's
cool.
It's fun when stuff like that happens.
Oh, dude, that was one of the things I liked the most about the Battle of Bands thing was the diversity of the entries. Like,
Oh, yeah,
it
right?
was so cool. Like,
Yeah.
I loved it when it was all like out of the blue. Like, there's some fucking metal band, and I'm like, yeah, like that.
Yeah.
It was exciting. It was really fun, really exciting to see like all the different entries for all the different cities.
Yeah, that's what we were hoping for that. Because, whatever anyone wants to do is fine. But I feel like, or at least the headspace that me and Dan had always been in was that, like, we wanted to broaden our horizons.
Yeah.
We hoped that people would accept us for what we were doing. So it was cool to see bands that didn't necessarily do the exact same style, like
Right.
legitimately like want to be a part of that. So
Yeah, yeah.
it seemed like everyone was down with it and nice about it. You know, like the people in the chat and everything. So that was rad.
Yeah. Yeah, it was awesome. It was such a cool like little community thing to like see everybody get together, because it was like, you know, like people I recognize from like the Electronic Body Memes server, and like people I met at Mechanismus, and like it was such a weird like mix of people. It was so cool. Like it made the community feel small, and
Yeah,
I think that can be a good thing at times.
Yeah, I kind of wish we could. Well, I mean, I don't know. We were already talking about maybe even just doing some silly thing on the road, like where we do that like once a week. But yeah, I kind of miss doing that.
Yeah, for
you know?
sure.
Like, I don't know. I never. Well, yeah, I never do stuff like that. I guess. It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then everyone. I don't know. It's fun. I keep thinking of all the ones, in particular, like L.A.
Oh,
I was just
man.
like, I hadn't heard of any of those bands,
Oh,
but then
really?
they were all so good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like what I remember, what was it like? Ms. Trez and Glass Battles. Like now I talk to that Glass Battles guy every once in a while. But like, yeah, I'd never heard this stuff, and I was like, this is so good. It's like,
Yeah.
why do you want to open for us? Like, you should be headlining this.
Right.
You know, it's just, yeah, it was so cool. And it's cool with stuff like that. Like, there's always something that, well, not just something. There's always many things that are just like amazing that are just out there that like we may never know.
Yeah.
Like never understand or never hear rather, and then like there'll be
Yeah.
like these tiny fan bases, and they always deserve so much more. You know, it's
Yeah.
cool to even get that opportunity, right? To like,
For sure. I mean,
check
especially
that
with,
out.
I mean, like, media and, you know, I mean, it kind of comes back to what we were talking about. Like, you know, we have finite ear hole time and stuff. Like,
yeah.
the world is an ocean of art, and like you have to figure out, like, you have to navigate these waters to find what you like. And you know, like Morris, I just got Morris Black to listen to Akamasats last night, and it's like, dude, Akamasats has been making music for 30 years. Like,
So wait, when did you shoot the or pardon me, or when did you record the interview? Because I remember you would talk to him about just interviewing him.
yeah, yeah. Akamasats or Morris Black?
Yeah, or to Alchemist. Because I was when I listened to all your stuff, I was driving like to and from Rhode Island. So I went deep. It's like I wasn't sure how far back I went to like when that
Okay.
interview you had with him was, where you had told him that you had just interviewed Alchemist.
Oh yeah, that was that was quite a while ago. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
It
So,
was,
but he just listened to him now. You're saying?
he had never heard Akamasats at all. Like, so I messaged Brian and was like, dude, you check out, this is what I listen to when I like smoke out and I'm like vibing out or whatever. And I was like, you know, just another example of like, dude, he's been making like interesting experimental music for 30 years, but like nobody knows. Like, if you're if you're like, he's still the Belgian underground kind of a thing. And like, that's it was interesting how the Battle of the Bands kind of tapped into all these tiny little pockets of like, because I mean, like, I felt like as different as the bands were, sometimes certain cities had a sound. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, no, it totally does. Because I grew up in New Jersey, and there was definitely a thing like, I mean, not even counting my stuff because I always felt like I was out of it. But then North Jersey, you had like Life Cried and Panic Lift and Cenotype
Oh my
and
God,
Centrifuge.
Life Cried. I
All of
haven't
us.
heard
And then
that name in ages.
Oh yeah, and he's coming back. I used to play live in Life Cried too. At the same time I did AP. Yeah.
I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah. I was a keyboard player. But yeah, he just started doing new stuff again. But I always remember thinking when I started, it was always like Life Cried was this like unofficial pillar of the New Jersey scene, and then all this other stuff. I don't want to say it sounded exactly like Life Cried, but like there was a flavor to it. Mm-hmm. Like then we called it like, it's like, oh, that North Jersey sound. Like, I don't know, it was pretty rad.
Cry
it's weird. Like, I felt like watching the stream, I was like, man, is this my imagination? Am I projecting this? Because I know, like, but no, that certain cities do seem to sort of present a particular sound. It's interesting.
Yeah. I'd love to see, because we were even saying like, yeah, because exactly, we get those entries, and even if one person won, it's just like, oh man, all these bands should just be playing together. Like,
Yeah.
like I wasn't even aware if they knew who each other were, but it's just like this all like fits together real good, and that could be a geographic thing,
Yeah, for sure. Could be. But yeah, it was so cool, man. The Battle of the Bands thing was so cool. It was so fun to like see everybody and like see all the different entries and shit. Like I don't know. It was cool. It was neat. That was it. That's all I got.
Yeah, that was all Dan's idea. I mean, it'd be cool actually, because I saw there was a format. The one time I was in that EBM memes thing, where we were just kind of listening to stuff, and it's just like a group video chat. It'd be cool to get like a bunch of people in there,
Yeah.
like see everyone, because I have no idea. Sometimes I just see these handles and I have no idea. Well, yeah, and it's like I have no idea who these people, what they look like, or anything like that. So
Yeah. And I mean, even just to contrast with like what we were just talking about like growing up, like on the early days of the internet, like nowadays, like we can just like go hobnob with like whoever we want. You know what I mean? Like it takes 2 seconds to go message whoever and be like, oh, what up?
Yeah, back then it was just like you kind of just shouting in the void of the chat, and then like maybe they'll see you talking, and then maybe you'll connect that way, but
Unlikely.
yeah. Too many people screaming into the void.
Yeah, that void was full. That void was very empty. There was nobody to hear that shit.
You had to cut through all the age, sex, location, and get right to the people actually talking about what the topic was.
ASL, buddy. Oh,
ASL.
Those days. But yeah, this is a big tour too. Like I'm looking at the tour dates here, like because I was like reminded that like I need to figure out what date I'm gonna try and make it to. Probably maybe San Francisco, but
yeah, let me know. I mean, like I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't even think I know like one person. Yeah, if you want to know, let me know, and I'll make it so that you don't gotta pay.
I mean, I would appreciate it just because San Francisco's a bit of a drive, and if I'm going down, like if I'm driving down, like I'm paying a toll, I'm not making my financial problems yours. But I mean, it's just like the logistics of it is like if I'm going to San Francisco, I gotta pay tolls and I gotta get a room because making the drive back after a show sucks.
How far is that from? Because you're in Reno, right?
Yeah, it's 4 hours. It's not bad. Like you just like.
That's bad to me. It's hard.
It's like, I mean, it's so like as soon as you leave Reno is like the stressful part because you're going through the mountains and like that the weather through the mountains is crazy and people don't exactly drive super great and it's a little bit stressful. But then you hit Sacramento on the other side of the mountain and then it's just freeway until you're in the city. It's not a super bad drive. It's like it's pretty, but there's a lot of like financial logistics that go along with it so that it's like if I can save some money on like a ticket or an Uber, you bet I will kind of a thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So yeah.
And then the gas.
Yeah, that too. At least that's gone down, but
yeah, true.
Yeah, it's a huge fucking tour. Like
yeah.
I
was thinking today.
I feel a little apprehensive for you just because I'm like, he hasn't been on tour in 5 years. Look at all these dates.
Yeah, I haven't like thought about it realistically. Literally today, I thought about like it was the same thing. It's like, oh, okay, 4.5 weeks till it starts. So like technically, when it's over, it'll have been 3 months from now. And I'm like, holy shit, dude! Like I don't know.
That's a quarter of a year of your life that you're.
Yeah. And I've literally this entire time just been trying. I mean, I hate saying like trying not to think about it, but like I know I have to accept it as it gets closer. But yeah, it's weird. I'm even trying to remember what it feels like. How it just kind of goes fast and slow at the same time. But
yeah,
I don't know. Stinking for 2 months will be interesting. But the cool thing is I think I'm gonna know half of everyone on the roster. So like
yeah.
That's always helpful. I mean, though we've never even, I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I've been on a tour and someone was like so horrible that like, no, it's just like it's them or me or nothing like that. So, which I don't think will happen this time either, since everyone seems chill.
I mean, I don't know. You're touring with that Daniel Graves guy, and
He's an asshole.
yeah, he can be pretty problematic, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what everybody says. I mean, I don't, you know. Anyway.
Yeah.
No, he seems fucking legit. He seems cool as fuck. And like my interactions with Daniel have always been pleasant and wonderful.
Yeah. At this point, I think he might even be my oldest friend that I still talk to, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we've known each other like 15, 16 years. Something like
That's
that.
a long time.
Yeah.
At least the tour is coming to a close in New Jersey, so then you're just like home.
Yeah. So that was like a big well, you know what's funny? It's like Atlantic City the day before Thanksgiving. And then I'm right in Bucks County, which is like an hour away from there. So then I get to have Thanksgiving at home. And then I go to QXT's like an hour away from there and to close out.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
just-
that's not bad.
Dude, it's because I was even trying to talk myself out of like doing this. So when it first started, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't like flying. I don't like this. I don't like that. And it's just like, well, you don't got to fly because like first show's in Baltimore, so that's a drive. And then the fact that it closes out like this too, it's just like, well, you can bring your own groceries.
Yeah.
It's another thing you don't have to worry about packing. You don't have to. Well, you literally don't have to worry about packing. Like, oh, if I get another bag, this is gonna be another $50-$100 or whatever.
Right.
It's just like it's all just gonna come in the car with me. So
Yeah.
it's
I mean, it seems pretty rad. It seems fucking well worth it. I mean, despite the fact that it's like a significant portion of your life being dedicated and sort of, and you know, that's a big investment because that's time away from your pet. That's time away from your your home, like where all your bullshit is. Like, you know.
I always joke about that like literally. Well, my wife, it's just like I'll miss my wife and my cat, but I can talk to my wife on the phone. She knows I won't be dead. My cat has literally his entire life. Like I work from home. Like I literally every day I see this guy, and like I don't know why it breaks my heart just to think like after like a week, because I don't think I've even been away from here for more than like 7-8 days. Like since he's been alive, it's just like he's gonna be like, guess that guy's dead. Like,
No, it's the same for me and my dogs, man. Like I work from home, and so it's like, you know,
dogs get it worse too, right?
I would have to because I mean, like they have not gone a day without being my special babies. That like, you know, let's get your bone, let's go walkies, let's go. I mean, like I'm a thorough dog parent. These dogs want for nothing, but so it's like I couldn't even imagine suddenly being gone for 3 months. They would think I was fucking dead. They'd be like, well, that wonderful man's never coming home. Oh well.
Yeah.
Guess my life is terrible now. I mean, not to like rub it in with your cat, but like
come back and dog's an alcoholic and like I fight to live now.
I fight to live. I've been scavenging, and it's like your mom was here, and it's like no, I've been barely surviving. I took over I've been leading a pack of coyotes.
I've been fatherless, and I'm now a martyr for broken hearts all across the world. Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, at least so yeah, I get you there. Like exactly, like you can talk to your significant other, but like your pet is. My wife and I even threw around the idea of like getting those little. Have you seen those little things that it's like a little camera?
The camera things?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've thought about that. Yeah.
But it's like
I just don't know how. Like, do they respond to it though? I never
exactly.
looked into. Yeah.
I'm always.
Because it might just pop on. They're like, "What is that?" And then they're just like, "Anyways."
Yeah, and then they're just looking
back to
around
morning.
like, "Oh my god, I heard him, but where is he?" And then it's like, "Come over here, look at the screen. Hello, I'm here. Can you see me?" And
Yeah.
You're like desperately like, "I'm still alive, I promise." And they're like, "Where is he?" And then I'm like,
see him
"I'm
in
just
the corner, like, like crying, like I missed my best friend.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm right here, dude.
Yeah, I can hear him, but I don't know where he is." And it's like, I don't want to. That seems like I'm increasing the animal's stress unnecessarily.
Yeah, you're prolonging the morning. It's like hearing ghosts and.
Yeah, like I like that seems like a gesture that's very much for me and not for the pet. So
for sure.
Yeah, I refrain.
But I have considered it because
Same.
but the thing, I have no idea what he's gonna do.
Right, exactly. I don't know if it's going to be like traumatic or, you know. I mean, they don't know. It would be one thing if I could be like, "Hey, here's a little video screen. I'm going to be on it." Like if I knew they'd understand, cool. But I don't know that.
But maybe if it gives you one of those action buttons, like you press, like I'm assuming you're on your phone to like project the video, and you hit a button and it drops like a treat out of it. Maybe you essentially train him and to come over there and look, and then eventually it's like, wait a minute, did he just respond to what I just did?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, like, makes the connection, like, I am speaking with his ghost.
Yeah, but see, then I have the concern. Then I have to think about like, okay, I gotta go, bye, and then I hang up.
Oh yeah.
Are they just sitting there staring at it?
Staring at the wall?
They're just waiting all day for me to call again. Like
just like they would at the door, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So there's too much to go wrong with such.
You've thought of the important things. I haven't even thought of these, but it's the most likely scenario is like what I would assume after hearing it this way.
Yeah, I mean, like I think more about the pet than myself. Like I'm more concerned about like, oh, is this gonna be okay? Is this gonna be all right? Ooh, how's this? Like, you know, I'm more concerned about their experience. So, I mean, at least, the tour gets to wrap up, and then you'll be home, and that'll be nice. So,
I think
how old is your cat?
What is he? This is 4. He's only 4, but like, I don't know how much you know about my living situation, but I'm like really remote. So like, I don't even know how this guy. Oh yeah, I'm like well, in Bucks County, I'm like off of like a dirt road. I'm literally in the woods. Like I live in a 300-year-old mill. It's on a creek, but the creek was named after the mill. It's literally called Mill Creek. But this cat just wandered, like I don't know where where it came from, essentially. And it one day just walked up my steps, and it was like meowing and meowing and meowing. And then at the time, I didn't even think I wanted a cat. I was like allergic. But I was like, he'll find his mom. He literally couldn't get down the steps, like he was that small. So like, and then I had to keep him, and you know, I don't know. He's been here ever since. I mean, 4 years. Like it's all he knows. I even remember that day taking him outside after feeding him and everything. Like, go find your mom, and he's like, nah.
Yeah.
I've never
Isn't
wanted
that
to leave
you?
my side ever since. Yeah.
He's like, wait, aren't you my mother now?
You are, right? You just fed me.
Yeah. Wow.
4 years of that, man.
How did you end up living in a 300-year-old mill? That sounds rad. Like, that sounds like, hey, but BT Dubs, I'm planning a visit already. I'm going to come hang out.
Yeah, dude. Dude, it's rad back here. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, just one day looking for an apartment, and this place just popped up. I even still remember when it was like, at the time, she was my girlfriend, but my wife, like, found it, and she's like, oh, let's check it out. I was like, this is really the middle of nowhere, though, isn't it? Like, and we look around, it's like, whatever. This is actually the same I should probably get to that. There's like 3 houses on this weird property. We call it the commune, but we were in another building before we moved in here. But like, I was like, yeah, no big deal. It's like, it's whatever. And then you look around, you see the water, and it's just like, oh my God. Like, so we moved into this like tiny place just for the sake of being close to that water. Cause to me, it seemed like, you go on, what's that site? When you're trying to book those vacation houses.
Like Airbnb or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. That's what it felt like. Just like an Airbnb thing. Right. And then, so we lived in this like tiny place just because it was by the water and next to this mill for like 8 years. And then finally, like, someone just like moved out of the top floor. So we moved right in, and now it's like, cool. Yeah, I couldn't imagine ever leaving this place. I've been here 10 years. That's like literally the longest I've ever lived anywhere in my life.
Yeah. No, like, that sounds awesome. That sounds fucking dope. Yeah. And it seems worth it, like, it's small, but it's, I think that's living in close proximity to something that brings you joy, like, or I feel like people should at least like kind of try and get some, I don't know, appreciate their surroundings a little bit, even if it sucks.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is beautiful. It's just, there's like nothing out here. during that whole panda, like it goes. Yeah, I'm gonna keep saying that.
I just during that whole panda,
That rough panda. Oh, the
because
hard times.
I just immediately think of a big fuzzy black and white fucking bear. But then I'm like, no, that's
it's
in
a lot more
reference to like
gentle to hear it that way.
like a bad thing where like a shit ton of people died and the world was irrevocably changed. So then it's like an evil panda of like, haha, like and. Yeah.
This panda is black, white, and red.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I essentially built this path behind the house, so that was soothing in its own. It's like all of a sudden I had a reason to be outside, like in the middle of nowhere, like every day. And now I'm so married to this location. Like I'd be like if that owner ever sells this building, I mean it'd be such a bummer. I don't know. Yeah. It's all downhill from here.
Well, that's why you need to work on genCAB so you can raise enough money to buy it for yourself. Right?
I don't know about.
That's why.
Yeah, I'll say
that. That's why people need to turn out to the shows and buy genCAB merch. I mean.
Yeah, man. All this great stuff. I got them shirts.
Suddenly not so clean.
cassettes. I know how people love cassettes now.
Do they?
I don't know. That's not what I'm banking on. Is that it's just like a knick-knack, and it comes with a Bandcamp code, and I'm like, hopefully that's the way to. I don't know.
I mean, they're cool. They are
yeah.
super cool. I've seen a lot of them, and they are rad. I will be candid with you though, because I respect you. I would never purchase one, but that's me.
Oh no, no, don't get me wrong. I get it. So this is the thing, like, because I've bought a few cassettes. I've literally listened to none of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll just be frank and open about that or whatever. It's always been like one of those things where, like, say I was at a show and I wanted to buy some merch, but like say I already had the album or I already had the T-shirt, or just basically I just didn't have, like, maybe I had $6 to spare, and then they had the cassette. I'm like, cool, I'll buy the cassette. So like the way I'm looking at it now is that. I guess I should talk about this or whatever. I'm doing this like new EP thing. It's coming. Yeah, so it's coming out on my own. Like I'm self-releasing it, but essentially what I'm doing is selling the cassette with a Bandcamp code, and then like there's like another option where it's just like a keychain with a Bandcamp code attached to it, and then it's just like that's the only way you can get the EP until after the tour. So I was just like hoping, like, okay, you can have this cassette, and I don't know what do people do? Nail these to the walls, like it's a little knick-knack, and then it comes with the actual like album that normal people the way that people listen to albums nowadays digitally. Yeah.
Right. Sure. Normal people. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I should say it like that. Because don't get me wrong, I like vinyl too, but that's expensive.
Vinyl is something I would love to get into. Like, I have a couple, but I don't have a record player currently, so it's like,
do yourself a favor.
Plus,
don't get one.
I was gonna say I also
hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was also gonna say,
yeah.
like, I also already have an expensive hobby, so I don't need.
Oh yeah.
I don't need it. Like, every time somebody's like, I knew a guy here in town who was like, oh yeah, man, Warhammer figurines and shit, and I'm like, they are awesome.
Yeah.
But they are not. I don't have that kind of.
No, it starts
liquid income.
Yeah, dude, it starts with you buying them, and then it starts with you painting them, and then all of a sudden you're buying all the paint for it, and then you're buying the best paint for it, and then all of a sudden you're investing your time in learning the techniques on how to make tiny armor look realistic and rusted rather than just painting it gray. And
Mm-hmm.
I know what that is.
And
I mean, hobbies are great.
They are, and I admire anybody who does that and takes the time to, like, paint the figurines and everything. They look amazing. I admire anybody who does it and loves it, and I'm all for it. It also just looks like painting toys, and that's not for me. But that's okay, because my hobby is like PC gaming, so like that is also kind of just playing with toys, so it's totally fine.
That's fine.
I
do the same. So,
but yeah, the tape thing, like, it makes sense, like, to get it, and like I like the idea of like time limited kind of things, like if you get it before the tour kind of a thing. I think.
Yeah, I guess I'd call it more like early access, I guess.
Right.
Because I don't know any other way to do it. It's weird trying to think of like stuff to sell that's like not a CD or a T-shirt. Or I've had trouble. I don't know if you've talked to anyone that's like, I always want to know what like everyone else is doing. Like,
I always want to know what everybody else is doing, because like, I'm not super big in the merch game right now, but like it's something I'm keeping my ear to the ground on. Because I mean, anybody operating in this space is always kind of looking for better ideas to make more money out of it, right? Because we all love it so fucking much. We all want to make money off of it, because we want to get paid to do the thing we love. That's what any of us want. So I think it is a benefit to have conversations like that out loud and often, because what works for one of us should work for all of us, kind of a thing. And
I feel like the whole white whale is trying to figure out how to sell a digital album in a physical market. Like that.
Right.
Like you do a tour and it's just like, look, you can buy my CD for twice as much money, and I know you're not going to listen to it because you don't have a CD player. or you can get the digital album, but like I don't want to be so callous as like just go home and order it. You know,
Right.
it's just like, well, here, let me give you a little knick-knack.
Right.
I don't know.
And
It's weird,
it's
right? Yeah.
it's super weird, and it's like it's such a weird concept because it's like I want to make this art, this thing that is for the most part like, well, we will go ahead and commit and say that, you know, this thing that you want to make is intangible. You can you can hear it, you can see it, but unless you purchase the physical thing, you do not technically own it. Your phone could break, whatever, you know what I mean? It could go away. It could be taken from you. And it's such a weird concept when you start thinking about like, well, here's a tape, or here's a CD, or here's a physical manifestation of this thing that previously only existed in the ethereal, in the immaterium, I guess. Like, you know, it's on the internet. The moment I don't have electricity, that thing goes away.
It just evaporates. Yeah,
right,
yeah.
exactly. So it's that's a weird concept.
Oh yeah. Well, even with sometimes making this stuff, like you know, when you're doing something purely like in a DAW, like and that's totally how I do it too. Like purely in the DAW, and you're using ESTs, you've come up with this idea, and no matter how many times you like render it into a file and pump it out, that's all it takes is like a
hard drive
nuclear
failure.
weapon going off. Oh yeah, or something like
Yeah.
that, and it's just like it's just gone. Like
Bringing it back, the hard drive failure.
yeah.
Let this be a warning.
Kids, back up all of your stuff.
Yeah, if it means something to you, like, make sure it exists somewhere. You know,
Yeah.
like, because,
Or you'll have-
you know,
You'll have to wait 10 years and then like obsess over it that entire time and then recreate it from scratch and in a state in which it will never be exactly the way it actually was at the time of conception. But
right.
yeah, who wants to do that?
Right. And if you know, people don't put photos in their homes of family members anymore, and that's totally fine.
Yes.
I get that
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like family members become shitty, and that's okay. Like I understand that whole that's a thing. And plus, like you know, for me personally, I'd rather have art on the walls, but it's like it does sort of bring back that idea of like pictures that you take and upload and save on a hard drive, or maybe you put them in your cloud or whatever. They don't. I don't know. I feel like maybe there's a certain element of they don't exist because when
they're all
when
one
you're-
lightning storm away from disappearing forever.
right, or whatever happens to you, like you know,
true.
whatever
Yeah, yeah.
something happens to you, all the memories, all the things that you cherished and loved, are just gonna sit in your Google Drive forever
For no one else to see.
for no one else to see because nobody knows your password.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
So
Donkey Dicks 47.
oh,
When I go
how
die.
did you know? That is amazing. Wow.
Just in case I go out. Yeah.
Just in case.
Now everyone can check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, here everybody, just so everybody can see everything I
Write
was
that
up
down,
to.
please.
Just, just don't go log into any porn sites with that. Okay.
Yeah, because that's 48.
Yeah. The
48.
oh, how clever. How
Yeah.
clever.
How else am I going to remember these things?
But yeah, like, how do you fucking sell digital art anymore? That's the question.
Yeah, it's weird too. It's not even like I don't know. I don't know how other people's heads are around. Like I don't even necessarily want to sell it. Like I'm always happy to like send this stuff to people and like, oh, just check it out, and if you like it, tell me you like it, and then like that's awesome. It's like more of a question of now like, okay, like we had to pay all this money for the gas and this stuff. It's just like as long as I break even, like boom, that's a success. That's like that's amazing, you know. Because then I don't know. That's just me. Then all of a sudden I get like this great like 2-month experience out of the whole thing. Like out of something that I essentially generate out of nothing. Like imagine like you're some other kind of like being, like an alien, just watching over some guy's shoulder, like dinging around on his computer, and it's like, what are you doing? You're like, I'm making music. And it's just like, really? Okay. And then that goes out, and then that facilitates like something like that. Like, oh, well, now I can go on this on the road or whatever, and then like people will pay X amount of dollars to see this, and then that funds that. So essentially, I've done this thing for, well, I don't want to say for free. It's like, because obviously there's a big time commitment, but it's like once everything is paid for, you've just generated this whole thing out of, which essentially almost seems like nothing because there's no physical product behind it, right?
Right. Exactly.
It's just weird.
Hey, Bacchus, she hates me. Hey, Bacchus, she hates me.
just weird.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to get too fucking deep. I've smoked a lot, so
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
I mean,
I like getting weird. It's my favorite thing.
I
It's
just
one of my
like
favorites.
when it suddenly like the spark just hit when you started talking about like physical media. It was like, man, like all it would take is like my old ass Spotify account to suddenly be deleted for me to like.
Oh yeah.
Or like old ass MP3s that I have hanging out on my fucking hard drive. Like, I don't know how many other people's hard drives they exist on now. Maybe mine's the only fucking one for all I know. Like,
I lose that stuff all the time. Like I have my little what is that? The iPod Mini. I've saved that because I have like little weird things like that. Like back like during even what was it? Yeah, MySpace, when like people would allow you to download like something. It's like, oh no, here's just a track I was just trying, and then nothing came.
yeah,
like, of it.
dude.
Like, there was like a.
I still remember fucking songs from artists that I followed on MySpace that I'm like, man, I wish I'd saved that one because it doesn't exist anywhere now.
There's one I have. Haneen Elias, that girl that was like working with Atari Teenage Riot, Haneen Elias or whatever.
Yeah,
she had a demo of the song called "The Key."
mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I loved that song, and then it just vanished and everything. And then one day I pulled out this iPod Mini. I think 2 years ago or whatever, and it was on there. No, maybe it was longer than 2 years ago. I don't know. Anyways, I pulled it off this iPod Mini and I put it on YouTube. And as far as I know, I think it's like the only place it exists now.
Wow.
Because I ripped this thing off of MySpace like years ago.
Yeah.
Pulled it off of an iPod and slapped it on YouTube.
Mm.
Like that kind of stuff is wild to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I haven't really given a lot of thought to, but yeah, maybe I should fucking start putting together like DJ sets of old bullshit because like,
oh yeah,
I literally have very carefully I've rebuilt my PC like a couple times now, and I've always very carefully like moved my music over because it's like I said, it's like old fucking shit that I've had for 25 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, MP3 rips of, the limited edition vinyls and like a crazy shit. But, somebody sent me a song once by an artist that was just like, The Planets Won't Let You Sleep Tonight. And it was so good. And like the band just like imploded and like never. And, like, I've never been able to find any information about them ever. Like, I mean, like, there's like, CDs out there, but they're, like, they don't have the track that I have. And I don't know where the track I have came from. And I don't fucking know. It's weird to think about how easily things could just be gone and lost.
Yeah. That's cool too. Yeah, even if you do that and you pop them on YouTube or whatever. I always think I have a buddy that does do stuff like that. He rips like old goth compilations. I don't know where he came across them over there, but like 90% of the stuff I'm like, I have no idea what this is. I've never heard of it, but it's great, you know. And then he just pops it on YouTube, and it's funny just to like look at his like website and just see how many views there are on it. And most of it, it's just like, like 47, 83. And then every once in a while you get one with like, I don't know, 500 or something like that. And there's always like one or two comments like, oh my God, I haven't heard this in 20 years. And like, they're a local band from, I don't know, Nebraska or something like that. Yeah. And I don't know, it's just cool to me.
Oh yeah, I still remember obscure ass motherfucking bands that were on like old ass goth compilations I bought and shit that I heard a song and then I never heard them ever again. And
yeah.
But I don't know, it's fun to revisit that kind of shit. But just to revisit on your idea of like selling art in like a physical kind of a space, something that Alice has done that has seemed to be a benefit to them. And you might talk to Scott Landis from Alice or Tosh or any of them really, but they have it's called like the Mad Hatter Army, and you basically pay postage and they send you like a key with like their complete discography on it, and like a postcard and like a sticker and like a wristband, like you're in like the inner circle. But through the process of going through and like and like I said, they're only asking for postage to receive these things, right? But in the
Oh, that's
process
even
of
better.
filling
Yeah,
it out and paying the, $5 or $4, whatever, something small, something meager, to get this, it's like, well, if you upgrade, you can get a shirt. And the shirt's only available to people who are, part of the fan base. Cool. And it's like it's like a modest sum for the shirt, like $20, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, you can also sign up to be like part of this thing or help support us or whatever. So it's like a whole sort of a process. Like, I don't want the word I want to use has a lot of negative connotations to it.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay,
Hit me
but
with
I want to say you're kind of indoctrinated into,
Yeah. Okay.
you're sort of
For $30, you get the Nikes and the and the purple Kool-Aid. Yeah.
right, exactly.
Oh, I got you. Yeah,
And then from then on, no, but I mean like their fans are very passionate people, and they're happy to sign up for it, and they post pictures of like, oh, I just got my thing in the mail, oh, I'm so excited, and then they go on their Discord server, and I mean this is an art commune basically of like people who are just like trying to like get together and kind of vibe, and like the people who are vibe hard enough with it that they're like, here's some of my money, please keep doing this, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's
cool.
what so many artists are going to have to at least start considering.
Yeah, because look, yeah, you want people to like your stuff, and the easier you make it for people to get to that, like,
Yeah.
that's the way, or to get to it. Like, I always thought it was weird, when people put like ridiculous paywalls on like being able to listen to their music before. I'm still talking like before like streaming was. I remember when even back on like MySpace, when people were like, oh, like, no one's gonna pay for my music, then like I'm only putting 20-second clips up like for anyone to check out.
That's right,
It's just like, dude, bands are a dime a dozen. Like,
right.
If you're only gonna get 20 seconds of view, they're gonna go on to the next thing anyway.
Right.
Maybe find something they like equally or better.
Plus, how conceited do you have to be to think that like, 20 seconds is all I need?
Yeah. This will let you guys know. Yeah.
Is that
Give me
all
my
I need
$10.
to get me to open my wallet? Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh, calm down, buddy. Check your privilege.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I'm glad it's. Yeah. It's not. I don't see a lot of people doing that anymore. I think.
No.
But it seemed like the wrong way to go.
I mean, basically, if we want to just like boil it down to the primitive components, we're all just street performers, and we're all just banging our cans and being like, "Hey, anybody got $1 for I made this
really
thing."
just so I could keep doing it more than anything.
I mean,
yeah.
honestly, I mean, now I get it. Like, now I totally understand, like, street performers in, like, cities and stuff. Like, I mean, like, oh, I fucking love just going out and playing music. Like, cool. Like, I mean, I always throw that money to street performers and stuff. And anytime I've ever had anybody approach me in a parking lot and be like, hey, man, this is my CD, this is my, my demo or whatever. It's like, even if I don't listen to it, like, here's some money. Like, yeah, I'll buy it. Cool.
I'll get the mixtape.
Yeah. Like, if you're out here, like, fucking hustling it, like, then you love it. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and most of the time with anyone busking like that, they really just need the money they have some place to crash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
And then totally makes sense. And it's just like, it pays for it in itself that like, oh, I got to play music all day, and like I didn't starve.
Right.
Like, I didn't sleep in an alley. You know what I mean? If that's the best, like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like everyone should deserve something like that. They can do it.
I agree. I mean, it would be nice if people got motherfucking healthcare, but
Yeah, right.
I don't want to.
I still don't have that, and I work full time.
Yeah, I don't want to get crazy. I mean, my fucking wife works full time. Like, I'll probably cut this as well, but like, she works full time and has her job pays for her insurance. To add me to her insurance would be another $700 per month.
I had a job
fucking month, dude.
Yeah,
That's a fancy car payment.
I had that what was it with with what I'm doing. So I do like a lot of freelance stuff, but I work for like Petco and stuff doing retouching. but I'm hired through an agency called Aquint. It's the same situation. You have to pay in X amount of dollars to get insurance, and then to add my wife, it's like another few $100s. But the thing is, like, you have to almost guarantee that you're gonna work a certain amount of hours every month, and it's just like, I'd love to guarantee that, but it's not up to me.
Right.
So then, like, after like 2 months, like, say like it's just slow or they don't need you or whatever, so you miss the mark by like 5 hours in a month. It's just like, boom, insurance gone. Like,
Wow.
it sucks. And then and then you have to go through the process all over again when it starts picking up.
It's fucking
a nightmare.
criminal, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is that, like, if we want to, I don't mean to get super fucking Marxist or anything. I will try and restrain myself. But, like, it's fucking criminal.
That's what I
It is
subscribe
fucking
to, honestly.
criminal, man.
Yeah, and like even the way they like companies will just like skirt that too, like, oh well, you're not full time, man. You work 38 hours this week. Like, it's like,
Nobody should be working 40 hours a week at all.
dude. Yeah. Just look at like other countries in Europe or whatever, where you got it down to the 4-day work week and like 8 weeks worth vacation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Because we're supposed to
everyone
be
seems to have-
living our fucking lives.
yeah. Indentured servitude.
Anyway, we can't continue down this fucking road. It's too depressing.
I know. Like, you guys do what now? Yeah. Starting a revolution.
But okay, so one thing I did want to come back to, you mentioned that the EP will be available if you buy like the physical thing, but it won't be available until after the tour if you don't.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. So oh, sure.
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say that it got weird. It was supposed. Now I'm trying to think how much I can say. It should have been out in 2 weeks, but there were like a lot of roadblocks in the way.
Okay.
And there was a plan for it to come out then, but then something happened and we had to rethink the whole thing, and that's why now it's like independent. And just to get all the timing right for everything, that's what happened. So all this
Gotcha.
stuff with the cassette and the DJ thing was like a last minute thing that was only thought up 2 weeks ago. So
Okay. Gotcha.
yeah. But that's the only reason why it's that way.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it would have just been like, hey, it's out everywhere. But now it's just going to be like, now it's going to be like a single in 2 weeks actually, a single,
Okay.
and then the album will be available on tour, and then hopefully I think we're thinking it's like Thanksgiving, which is literally, which would make like that last show of the tour like the release date of that or whatever.
Okay,
Yeah, and then it would be technically out for everyone to stream for free and
Okay.
like as I wanted.
I mean, that makes sense. I was just gonna challenge you and be like, well, that sounds like day one DLC, David. That sounds like
yeah, sorry we couldn't get it on the disc in time, but we just thought of it now, so another $20 you can get the full game.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. No, it's weird. It's all. I'm not sure how deep I can go into that.
Oh no, don't worry about it. I don't want to. I don't want to dig, and nobody needs to know. It doesn't matter. But
okay.
Yeah, no. The only reason I was asking is because I was going to, be a dickhead about.
Oh no, I get
a pro
it.
consumer, maybe. That's what I'll say. I was being pro customer because I don't like the word consumer. I don't want to call people or myself a consumer. Like, people are customers.
Yeah.
You can take your goddamn money elsewhere.
Well, I can't wait till the whole thing, like, I can just give it, so everyone can hear the whole thing for free. I mean, the first song, obviously, everyone could check that out anyway, so
Right.
that'll be cool. But yeah, it's a lot of oh god damn it, it's a lot of bad. I'll tell you about it later privately, but
It's cool. I mean, don't worry about it. But okay, well, I do want to ask you before we go over time crazily.
Sorry.
No. It's fine.
yeah.
It's totally fine. I have nothing else to do today, but I want to make sure I at least ask you, what's something that you're enjoying right now?
Ooh. See, I knew this was coming because I listened to all those things.
Thank you. I
So I-
appreciate that.
Yeah, of course, man. I have. Well, actually, that's one thing I can say that I've enjoyed the podcast. Let's make this 3 things then.
Oh, wow. You're such a kiss
and then-
ass. I love it.
No, look, I mean, like you said, people don't tell people they're doing a great job enough, and so I feel like I should come in there and say that. And I had no idea other people
appreciate
hadn't said it because.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Oh, I'm surprised. I complain about it a lot. I'm pretty vocal and bitchy about
No, I listened. Dude, I listened to 7 hours of it. So
wow.
put it that
Thank
way.
you.
In a
That's
matter
a lot
of
of
3
your.
days.
That's a lot of ear hole time to listen to
dude.
my fucking voice and thoughts. Thanks, man.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. So
Appreciate
what the other things? So I've actually been enjoying that House of the Dragon show.
Really?
Amazing.
So you're the second person to tell me that in
Yeah.
24 hours.
So did you? So the thing was, I didn't enjoy the first episode at all.
Mm-hmm.
I was extremely. I don't know. Have you? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what other people have said. I can tell you the exact moment that I didn't like, even though I'm going off script. I should be saying what
That's
I
fine.
like about it. But-
No, I want to know like what turned you off about that episode.
So there was a scene where Damon goes out with the night watch, or not? Yeah, night watch, city watch, and is like cleaning house, and then they essentially cut a guy's let's say wiener. We'll cut his wiener
All right.
off. That's fine, right?
Penis
but like
is fine too.
his penis, yes. I was trying to think. What is the
I mean,
word
that's a
when you
medical term.
chop off the. Yeah, that's the word. I couldn't
Penis.
think of the. Oh no, no, I mean the act of it. What is that?
Oh,
God, what is wrong?
castration.
Castration. That's it. There you go. Yeah, they castrate the guy. They pull off his pants. You're presented with his buttocks, his ass,
Right.
for layman's, like presented right full face. But then there is a brief moment. If you listen closely, he totally farts. And I'm sure it was done. It must have been like some person editing the show doing it for comedic effect or something like that. But it totally took me right out of the world, and I was just like, dude, what are they doing here? Like,
I mean,
it's ruining the whole thing for.
do you
Can't take
like
it
was
seriously.
it? Do you feel like it was? What if it was supposed to be serious? What if it was supposed to be like, oh,
Well,
he's so scared, he's like losing his bowels or something?
That's how it was presented. Like I read an argument that said that, and then I rewatched it, and I'm like, no, this is taking me out of it.
But
every
it's
time.
still like it's too comedic of a fart. It's too
It's like so low. It's like low to the point where like I don't know, like if an employee did it like wanting to slip it by without their boss noticing, that kind of low.
Okay.
So I just kept thinking.
And I
that,
mean,
like,
overall, the whole tone of the scene would have been way fucking better without it.
Oh yeah, it was like very serious, and then all of a sudden it just this low, like not even like a heavy.
I don't think fart sounds can be serious ever. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
No,
I
never.
guess I'm
Yeah,
with
yeah.
you. I don't think there's
Yeah.
ever a moment where you could pass it off as like,
True.
oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
The tone was right.
Yeah.
You can't fart
Like,
in
that's
an A24 film.
yeah.
Like, there's no amount of art that you can apply to make farts.
That sounds
okay.
like the expulsion of gas of a man very serious about what's about to happen to him.
right.
Like you never say that.
No.
But that said, the show did get better in the next 3 episodes, like to a point where I was impressed. I was kind of
Okay.
impressed. So whenever that scene comes up, anyone chooses to watch it, just hit mute for that second and then pop it back on, and you might enjoy yourself. Like, and then the other thing, there's a band that I love, my favorite band actually, like probably my most favorite thing since I've had favorite bands, called Holy Fawn. From
Okay.
the Arizona area. They just put out an album called Dimensional Bleed, which is like, oh, it's amazing.
Okay.
It's I always describe it as if like Sigur Rós like grew up with like Doom or something like that kind of like Doom music or whatever. It's somewhere in between that, and then a friend of mine called it like, this is makeout metal.
I really like both of those. I really like both of those descriptions.
Well, so if you've never heard of this band, this is I love
have
these
not.
guys. Oh, okay. And they're friends of mine, and like I've never seen like a friends band like this. Like kind of like it's a slowly upgoing trajectory for them, and I'm always like stoked to just see them get more popular. But they keep doing good stuff, like amazing stuff. And so I tell everyone about that. I'm literally wearing their shirt right now. Actually, just look down. That's how deep I'm into it.
Wow. Hit me with the name one more time.
The name of the album is Dimensional Bleed. But and then the song on there, Sightless. Sightless is my favorite track on that. Into Void of Light. That 2-song break. It's like 10 minutes worth of music. Is like, I think, my most listened to thing. It only came out on Friday, but I've listened to it over and over and over and over again since then.
Cool. I will check it out.
Cool.
I mean, that's high praise. You were like, I mean,
I like love this band. Yeah, it's like the way that I felt like when I'd first heard Nine Inch Nails or something, like when I was like little tiny kid.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's how it was for me. Like when I first heard Nine Inch Nails, it was like, heartthrob. Like,
yeah,
that was like my band. The same thing. I got the same way when I discovered Health. I just was like, I just was banging on to anybody with fucking ears about like, this is the next Nine Inch Nails. God damn it, listen to this shit.
Yeah.
And it was like, same thing for me. So like when I love a band, I love a band. So
it's kind of crazy to see that they're really like mingling in with even in like this scene. I always I'm like, oh, this is like a subset of something else, and I always thought that they were like, I don't want to say, well, I don't know, they just seemed like they're aiming for greater things and better things, and like, but then they also come into here and like, I don't know, it's awesome. I like those guys, they're awesome.
Yeah, me too. I'm catching them in San Francisco this Sunday, actually.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring them like honey from Reno and shit. Like, it's gonna be cool.
It's awesome.
Dude, the honey here is fucking bomb. I'll have to mail you some unless you're vegan.
No, no, dude, I love honey. Yeah.
Cool.
No, I'm not vegan.
No, I mean,
I would accept honey.
Like, if somebody is, it's fine. Like, I'm not gonna fucking try and force you to, eat honey or whatever. But I mean, it's like there's a lot of sage around, and so the honey here like comes out with like kind of a sagey kind of a taste, like just a hint.
Like a Thanksgiving kind of.
Not super. It's not like super sagey. It's like just a note, and it's like it's nice. It's cool. I don't know. Awesome. It's like a fucking local thing because there's nothing else really to be made from here that's like super authentic that you couldn't just get somewhere else. Like it's like like the Mexican food here is good, but like if you're in LA, like you got
what I always think of, like when I think of Reno, I think of that movie.
Ooh, definitely tell me. The Wizard. That's what
the
fucking
Wizard.
Well, what am I can't bring somebody like a Power
World's
Glove.
Biggest little city. Oh yeah. Oh, that'd be rad though. Or a copy of Super Mario Brothers 3.
A signed picture of Fred Savage. Here you go.
Yeah.
Everybody in Reno has these. Here you go, buddy. Either that or like what I always think of is just fucking Reno 911, and that's what a lot of people.
Oh yeah,
thought of for a long time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That show's right remarkably accurate. After living here,
really, you have the cops with the shorty shorts and.
Yeah, I mean it's just like that. But I mean, I don't know the people and the calls and like the humor. There's something about that show that feels very, very authentic, very Reno as fuck, as they say.
Some of their shows called like I would always look at Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Whenever they interact with like other people, I'm like, yeah, that's Philadelphia.
Yeah. Oh fuck, that's a good idea. Maybe I should bring people because you can buy stickers here that say Reno as fuck. So maybe that's what I should.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd take that.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. But well, those are good answers. I'm definitely gonna check out this band.
Oh yeah, dude. And when I say that too, like everything they've done is good. Like there was I'm just like blanking just because I have had one beer talking.
Oh my god.
I know, I'm gonna die. I might. Let's see. Single. It's like oh my god.
Oh yeah, you always drink fancy beers and shit.
Yeah, I used to. So in my interim of
club, fucking.
Oh yeah, that was one thing I did. Yeah, but in my interim of music, I was studying to become a beer maker. Not that you have to, but I did because I'm a detail-oriented person.
Sure.
So while I
thought
was
about
doing
going into doing that for a while, actually.
Oh, dude, it's so cool. I mean, not even for the fact that just like you're like, let me try this beer, let me try this beer. Like, it's just, I don't know. This is gonna sound corny or whatever. It was like, I don't know. It gave me this weird appreciation for life, thinking about the fact that like you have this organism yeast, like essentially turning sugar into alcohol, just doing what it would naturally do, just like consume this thing to stay alive and replenish itself or whatever. And then to us, like some dumb apes, like we're like, you drink this water, it makes you silly. And so to us, it's like the whole purpose for this organism is to make this alcohol, which is essentially it's waste product.
Right.
It's like eats the sugar, it poops, pees, and then we drink that poop and pee, and like we have a good time.
And we get fucked
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just weird to look at these little microcosms and macros of like, yeah, I don't know. You never know what our purpose is. We'll never know what our purpose is. Like maybe
Our purpose is to be apes, and
yeah. And poop and pee and make some weird life form that's too big for us to see
right.
silly or something. I don't know.
Exactly. Maybe we're all just maybe the whole world is just waiting to get snorted up as soon as we are good and like fucked up. Some great cosmic entity is just going to be like, "Oh, this nugget's ready," and then
and we'll perceive it as this big wipeout. Like, here comes the wave, and it's just really some god's straw.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my god, a black hole, and it's like just fucking we're just getting snorted.
Oh, the Black Moon. That was the name of the single too. It's a good place to start. All that.
That's a great place to put it. That is.
Yeah. Actually is a good name. Yeah. See, it all ties in.
Yeah. Wow, we're coming up with quite a wonderful narrative. So things I've been enjoying musically. I've kind of been hooked on this artist that I found not that long ago. I don't remember where, of course, because people send me shit all day, every day. But it's called Fetish, all capital letters. It's very horny music. It's not.
Now, if I'm looking it up on Spotify, it's this guy with the red hair, and the cover image is neon legs. Shaped in the letter of an F. Wow, this is horny music, isn't it?
Shaped in the letter of an
very
F.
clever as well. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, it is
right.
very horny. And it's. I mean, do you know the name Benny Benassi? Are you familiar?
Benny Benassi. With bees, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. I know that.
I mean, it's kind of Benny Benassi Jr. It's kind of just like horny electro stuff, but it's good. Like it's for like when you're all like, oh, I kind of want to listen to more Russ Black, but while I'm getting down, like, so maybe not as like sick of a drop, you know, like maybe some like more mellow bass lines. Like maybe I don't want to be thinking about like, you know, horror and, you know, Morris Black's mask. You know, I want to be in the moment. So that's what I listen to. Like, Fetish is what I would recommend. It's
I've already queued it up because that's
it's pretty good. I mean, like, some songs are better than others. It doesn't really matter which one you put on.
Okay.
I mean, like, I hope this person doesn't hear this because the music's great and I like it. But I mean, even if they do hear it, like, you have to know, you have to be self-aware enough to know that like it's all pretty samey. Like, you know, just slow it up or down and change this. It's kind of the same.
It
formula.
all flows. Like you can
right.
throw a dart at a playlist and get something that you're gonna enjoy.
Yeah, if you just put the artist on, it's gonna play that music, and that's fine.
Right on.
But anyway, I'm really selling it. But I do like it. I have been listening to it a lot. So,
cool.
But other than that, just I've been working on getting ready to move. We're moving out of our apartment because we're wasting so much money on it. It's like $2,000 a month on, you know.
Oh, cheap.
fees out the asshole for fucking everything. And like, this place just sucks. I hate my apartment complex. But
It sounds like you need to move into a mill like this. We're paying less than that.
yeah, see,
for
I do
this.
need to move into a mill, but there's no mills in fucking Reno because
That's true. Yeah, not a
I
lot
mean,
of
maybe there is. I don't know.
Yeah.
But okay. Anyway, things I'm enjoying, not bitching about my apartment complex. Fucking
Oh, sorry.
no, it's fine. I've finally managed to allow myself to that pull, that call to like, I need to be working kind of a thing, or I need to be at the service of my art or my passion or whatever you want to call it. I finally was able to only recently reach the point of like, okay, I can sit and put my headphones on and play a video game and like allow myself to have 2 to 3 hours to myself to just to be without having to feel guilty about it, because I often do. Like if I take personal time, I feel guilty about it because I'm not working on the the thing.
Yeah. I actually I had my thing in the whatchamacallit spring where I was playing Elden Ring, but I went like deep into that, like just as most people do, and did nothing else.
Right.
And then so I think that's like put me in a headspace. Well, yeah, same thing. I'm like, if I play anything at all right now, I'm not gonna get anything done. And so I was like so excited about when that game Stray came out. I don't think I've touched it for more than 25 minutes, just out of like the guilt that like I'm gonna sit here and like it's gonna absorb my entire life. I don't like. What are you playing, or what do you want to be playing? Put it that way, since you recorded.
I mean, like I play a lot of the same shit. I mean, like what I'm waiting for and what is going to be bad for Void Signal is is that November 30th fucking Warhammer 40K Dark Tide comes out, and it's from the makers of it's Fat Shark, who made Vermintide and Vermintide 2, and it's set in the 40K universe, and it's like it's my game. It's my like, as jazzed as people were for Elden Ring, like I'm gonna buy the special like milk me of my money fucking version of the game. Like so that's the one that's going to be bad. But right now, like, I play a lot of like Heroes of the Storm, honestly, and I'll play Dead by Daylight sometimes. I bought Pinhead on there because I'm like, if I'm going to play the fucking killer, like I'm going to play Pinhead, obviously.
Have you gotten it? I never get to play the killer. I don't think I've ever gotten.
It takes a few minutes.
All my times I jump in. Yeah. Oh. Okay.
I mean, if you're playing with friends, you can't play. It's not really. You can't really. You don't get to play the killer.
I'm right over here, guys.
Yeah, you have to queue up, like, kind of, unless you're playing like in a private lobby where like one person's the killer. That could be a lot of fun, but no, it's like you just queue up solo, and it was like, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna play the killer, and I was like, well, of course I'm gonna spend $2.50 to play as fucking Pinhead. Like, I love Hellraiser. Like, of this whole roster of amazing horror villains, Pinhead is my go-to. Like, this is what I'm gonna pick. And I started playing it, and I just was like hooked on it, like, because I played as the survivor. That was my first experience, so it's like I know how scary it can be to be chased and like hunted down and hung on the hook and all that kind of shit. So it was like, so to be on the other side of that fulfilled a very sadistic sort of.
You know what? Even more like nerve-wracking when you're playing that game is when you're playing with a guy that's just trying to rack up the points. So then, like, he'll constantly kill you, wait for you to recover, and then do it again.
Oh yeah, that's
and then
shitty.
It's like you don't know what's happening, and I'm like, this game's going on like 55 minutes. It's like, come on, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, no, I don't fuck around. I'm very thorough when I play Pinhead, just so you're aware. But I did get somebody after playing it for like 4 hours, right? Somebody messaged me and was like, pay to win, try hard killer or some shit. I was like, I felt great.
$2?
I was like, dude, pay to win, $2.50, sweet. Fucking sign me up. Awesome.
Yeah, right.
I just was playing it because it was Pinhead. I didn't know I got to win as well. Cool. But it's like, it had been a long time since I'd gotten whispered hatred in a video game for being good at it. So I was like, man, thank you so much. This has made my day.
It reminds me of the old I'm like the old days in 2008. Our old Aesthetic Perfection band meetings used to be in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Oh.
And we would just go, because, you know, Dan was living in Austria. And so, like, we would just play the thing because it's just, like, doesn't cost any money to call Austria. You know, back when, like, you had to pay for all that or whatever.
Right.
So we just play this thing. But then while we're playing, we're talking with other people just in there. You know, it's just like 13-year-old boys calling you F word and everything like that. It's like, so anyways, like when you come out here in a couple of months, I think it'd be great if you bring your keyboard. And then, you know, but constantly be called names the whole time. And
Wow.
yeah, it's been a long time since I've been called a name on an internet or on a game. Pardon me. Yeah.
Man, Modern Warfare 2 is another one of those games. I don't even know what kind of skills I'd have now if I'd done something other than play that. You know what I mean?
Kept up with it? Oh, yeah.
Like, what could I have become? I could be
like the actual
concert pianist by now, maybe. Who fucking knows? But it was like way too much fucking time on
like the
Modern
actual
Warfare.
CIA.
Yeah.
Like they contact you like, hey, son, we heard you've been playing Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
So you might be our top agent.
We're not sure what your skill set is, but we want to figure it out.
We're going to send you to Yemen tomorrow. And
Yeah. Just drop you into a war zone. All right, let's see what you can do, buddy. I mean, that's almost what the military is. I mean, if we're being
basically,
real
right?
about it. I mean, it's a lot of like, I mean, go on Twitch. Every ad you see is going to be, you know, something.
Yeah.
Come risk
you
your
want to do this
life.
for real? Yeah. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Do you want to shoot actual missiles at people?
People you don't know, so you won't feel anything.
Want some help?
We'll tell you that now. Yeah, that's the real lore right there.
Oh yeah, brother! Snap into the third world. Like,
you want to buy more life, you got to take another.
Yeah, that's fucking dark, and that is so accurate, man. That new Camaro isn't gonna pay for itself, brother. You better.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, it's fucking. Anyway, but yeah, I play like I love I've been playing that a lot, but I usually like play Heroes of the Storm. Like it was my first MOBA that I ever played. Like I never got into League of Legends or Dota or anything because this was like you know, everybody was like, oh, Heroes is for babies or whatever. But it was accessible, and I come back to it. I've rage uninstalled it a few times. But it always is something I just reinstall because like when I first started like doing PC gaming and stuff, I played a lot of like Command and Conquer and Diablo. And so, like this is sort of a mishmash of those two. And I get to like, you know, I get to run around as like, characters from like franchises I've played for fucking ever. So it's cool. Like, so I play a shit ton of that. Shout out to like Grail Paladin and some of the other people that I play with on the regular, Exilium and Bacchus, like all kinds of people who like, I play with this one dude who's like, I have no idea where he's from. He's in like California somewhere. And I think he's a drug dealer. And he like is constantly talking about like the drugs that he's ingesting and smoking and like, and he's like, there was one day that he was like, hey man, get on Discord and let's video chat to each other and we'll smoke out together. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking do that.
Yeah.
I want to play.
Let's get a little.
I want to play the video game together. I don't want to fucking. I don't even know what this is. It seems. Maybe, it seems uncomfortably intimate. Like.
He's either some kind of undercover agent, or two, he's these are all performance enhancing for him.
Maybe.
And he's just like, we're gonna come in here like hard. We're gonna be seeing like clearer than a.
Hey, let's make some eye contact while we smoke drugs, brother. Like, no, dude, no thanks. Let's just play the video game instead.
Oh, dude, it's coming.
Anyway, I play that fucking game and I love it. And it's like
That's
it's
awesome.
it's cartoony and it's flashy and like has a lot of bright colors and it's fun.
Yeah. that's rad.
Infuriating at fucking times. But, anyway, that's what I got. That's what I'm enjoying right now. But man, this has been such a pleasure. This has been one of the best interviews I've had in a while.
Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I don't talk to a lot of like new people right off the first. Well, yeah, I don't know. I talk to a lot of new people. You never know what to expect.
Right, exactly. No,
But it's very smooth.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, especially over the internet, like because you don't know the person until you talk to them, like really. So it was like, I almost feel like, yeah, I get what you mean. It's like, I mean, by the time you're done with this tour, like your friends list is gonna be fucking huge because you're like personable and likable and. This is gonna be good for you, man. Like the band's gonna take off, and I hope so. Like I think you.
Oh, thanks.
I think you deserve it. Like the band's good, and your quality of character, and that comes across
Thank you, dude.
from the Battle of the Band streams because you're concerned about your cat. Like to me, like, I mean, it's kind of a trope, but honestly, like one of the things they teach you in like creative writing classes is that like, if you want to quickly and easily show a reader what someone cares about, you want to give them some quick, dirty insight into a character, you just show them what they care about. So, the fact that you care about your cat, care about your wife, care about your real life that's going to be there and your surroundings, like talking about like,
Oh yeah.
Obviously you're a person who cares about things. And as somebody who also gives a huge shit about things, maybe too much at times, I can appreciate that. So I really do hope that this pans out for you.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, if anything, I'm just hoping it's like a fun vacation from regular life, but then as long as everything remains the same when I get back, that's what I want.
Yeah.
And then if people like the stuff too, that's even better.
Yeah.
Nice little pat on the back.
Yeah. I would feel remiss if we didn't at least mention the fact that you've done a lot of work on and you've been involved with XRL7.
Oh yeah.
I didn't want to end the recording session without at least mentioning it because I'm gonna have.
Yeah, no, I wanted to bring it up at some point too, and then I was just letting everything flow naturally.
Yeah,
but yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But I'm gonna have those guys on. It's been fun to. I've watched a handful of episodes now. It's been. I guess I didn't know such a thing existed in the scene. If that makes sense.
Yeah, right. And that dude, it's like. It's weird too because that dude's so talented. That dude does everything, but like, so he does he writes it all. He like does all the animating. The guy Mike, and then and he'll write these demos of these songs. Like I'd heard of it because he worked with he worked with Dan and he worked with I don't know if you know Nyx. She was on tour this a few years ago. He did a song with her, and then so he basically like asked like, oh yeah, would you want to work on this song? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I'm thinking about getting this guy from this band Monuments, which I don't know if you would know it. Like I knew some of that metalcore stuff, and I was just like, geez, you know that guy? Like I was like, yeah, I want to do it. But he sent me the demo, and it was just so. Dude, it was just so good out of the box, and I guess he was the one singing, but like even he's got a good voice, and I was just like, dude, even if this dude doesn't do it, you should just release this. It's awesome. So it's just like real easy to work on. Like I think the track that we just did, or that Overdose of Emotions, we did that. I did all my stuff in like a day and a half or something. It went so fast. Yeah. And then we worked on another one. I don't know what's happening with that yet, like who's singing on that, but same thing. That went easy. And I don't know, we just became friends. Like, I mean, there's always like people I like talk to every once in a while, but like I'm like, oh, this guy's like a friend now. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty. But yeah, I don't know. Even with that song, I mean, yeah, that thing like ended up on like that Spotify all new metal charts or whatever, which was fucking wild. Dude.
Yeah,
but, like I'd never.
That's a wild place to land, and that's gonna be a ton of years.
Oh, dude, it was like nuts. Like so, like. That thing came out, and then like just because as you do on release day. Plus, it was kind of cool with release day sharing it with someone else because usually it's just me. But we're like, oh, look at this! It's like, oh, got a couple hundred listens, and it just kept climbing and climbing and climbing. And we're like, dude, that's crazy. What's going on?
Yeah.
And then literally the next day, we saw that like it was on that. It was like something like number 12 or something on that. We were right under Goat Whore. Big time slot.
Wow.
Yeah. Goat Whore and then
Goat Whore.
XLR7. Yeah.
I fuck that. Speaking of names, I haven't heard in a while. Wow.
Yeah, right.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it was just like crazy. So I don't know. It's all that dude. He sets that stuff up, and he's really good at like planning this stuff out, and like he's got high ambition. Yeah, dude, that's cool. You're gonna have him because that dude, he needs more. More people should be paying attention to that dude.
For sure, I agree.
He deserves it. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I also have to shout out Raz for she does the moderation for the Aesthetic Perfection Discord.
Oh yeah, dude, she's great too. So I sometimes got to ask her like about like, hey, when are we doing this?
Yeah. And she fucking knows, man. She's got answers. She's got like, always. Same for Lucas and a lot of the other people in the channel there. I love all those all of them. They're fucking great. They're good people. Like they help make the scene fucking wonderful, dude.
Seriously, it's
Seriously.
like cool to find people that like care about this stuff. Like, well, yeah, it's it's always like, oh, nobody cares about your own thing more than you or whatever. But it's cool. Like Danny's got this whole group of people that are just like on the ball 100%, and they truly care for it. It's like just rad to see. Yeah,
and that's true. I mean, like we do care about our own things more than anybody else does, but it's funny to like, to see other people sort of geek out about like getting to share their numbers. You know what I mean? Like, I'll do that on fucking socials. I'll be like, oh man, this episode just hit this many numbers. It's the highest number I've ever had. And it's like, it fucking does not matter, but it's, it's the high watermark for yourself.
It feels nice. Yeah.
So it's I find that sometimes I worry about sharing that kind of thing sometimes because I never want to come across as like at least for me, do you ever worry about coming across as like conceited as like, oh, what's up, bitches? I've got this many streams or whatever.
I mean, I don't know. It definitely goes through my head because I always joke. Well, and not joke about it. It's like everyone's like, oh, you're being too humble. But it's just like, no, it's like a lot of my friends are doing like 400, 500, 600 times more than this. So it's just like sometimes I'm like afraid to say anything because it's like, I don't know. It just seems like everyone I know is crushing. But I feel nice. Like something gets like 100 looks or something like that. And I'm like, like I know 100 people. That's like mostly strangers. That's awesome.
I mean, that's true. I harvest my little social media buttons every morning, and any amount is good.
Oh,
it's only the days where I have none that I'm like, oh.
Oh, yeah. My favorite thing is looking at the Spotify for artists, because there's always a landmark where it's like, you don't really see the number of plays until you go over 1,000. Mm-hmm. So then I'll like, I don't know, 2-3 times a week, like look at my thing and then just like, come on, song, like you're pulling for it and you're like, come on, we're at 687, like 13. And I'm not going to lie, every once in a while I'll be like, all right, let me listen to it 3 times, get it up there. It's like, all right, we're at 700, and then I don't know, like a weird thing. I think the thing is we all do it, right? Like you even said you're doing it too, so it's we shouldn't feel ashamed.
I'll go dip onto my fucking personal Instagram so that I can like throw a little heart on my Void Signal Instagram for like a post.
Oh
if it's like
dude,
one off of like a big
number.
I
do that. I totally do. I totally do that. Yeah.
I'll be like, let's make like this a nice even 30, like, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure. You can count on me to fucking, or conversely, if I am scrolling past your shit, and if I do my best to like smack hearts on everybody because they're fucking free, but I've only got so much time in a day. But if I see it's close, I will definitely fucking. Hold on, let me dip this over.
Like 665, you say? Like, bam!
Not on my watch, but 419. Get out of here.
Thank you, Satan. Yeah.
No 68s on my watch, buddy.
Yeah. Nice.
All right. Well, I will let you go just so that we're not bombarding listeners with like, you know, a huge episode. But this was wonderful. I'm all for
great, man.
hanging out again anytime you have time.
Yeah, dude.
and
Likewise.
I will. I will let you know. I might go San Francisco. I'm also kind of thinking about like flying somewhere else to like catch a show somewhere else. Go somewhere I've never been now that flights are kind of cheap again. So I don't.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean,
the great thing too, you could even look at all the shows and then see which one has the best Battle of the Bands person too, and then be like, oh yeah, this band looked nasty. Like,
that's right. That's a good idea.
Which is a funny thing to even think. I hadn't even thought of that until just now.
No, me either. Now that it's now that flights are like, because I mean, I went to go visit my folks and it was like, you know, they bought the ticket when it was like $900 or something, and then literally like flights were like $200, like.
Oh wow!
A few months later,
that's affordable.
Yeah, it's not nearly as bad as it was. So it's like, you know, at least for me where I am, it's like Reno's got a pretty good airport. So, you know, the cost to fly to San Francisco kind of almost balances out with flying to just like a different city where I also might know people. You know, like now that I've been doing the podcast, like, I might know somebody in fucking Seattle or wherever. So, I mean, I definitely know people in Seattle. So, I mean, you know, that's the other thing to consider, too, is how many people do I know well enough that
Seattle show is also the Halloween show, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is an added bonus. I don't know. I was going to say, you know people, and then, like, maybe the bands will be wearing costumes. I don't know.
Right. Ooh, exciting.
Maybe. I don't know.
Wow. Are you going to go as that shirtless vagabond from your cover?
Oh, that thing or whatever. Yeah. That was so last minute too. That was like we need cover for a single. And it's just like, all right, I didn't get the image in time, so I got to whip up something. That'll be every night.
I love how you're fucking. Oh, I'm just gonna whip up something. Let me just take my shirt off. What about this? Put some oil on me, babe. Snap this. Let me put my sexy suspenders on. Hold on.
Yeah, but I put on that prosthetic on my eye too to, you know, like simmer down.
Yeah, you couldn't let it just be too smoldering spicy, because then just looks like, oh, this guy.
Oh man, I have nothing to say about that. That's just.
I mean,
that's unfortunate.
You look great, babe. I mean, it's.
Thank you.
It's not a slight by any means. It's just, you know, I wish it were so easy for all of us. You know, just be like, oh, I need a cover. Let me just take a picture of my fucking self and put it on there. It's like,
all you got to do is hate yourself to get on a bicycle 20 miles every morning before you eat breakfast, and
that's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
That's all. You just got to put the work in for it. You know, that's it. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and for coming on the show.
Dude. Anytime.
And I look forward to seeing you. I will let you know which one it's going to be, and we'll hang out and shit, man.
Yeah, sounds good, dude.
Cool. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will talk again soon.
Perfect. Yeah, man. You too.
Cheers, man. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode of Void Signal, you can visit voidsignal.net to leave me a tip or find out about Void Signal HQ, where you can get early access to episodes. You can also visit voidsignal.online to take a look at some of the merchandise I've designed that's meant to be thoughtful and or humorous. But Void Signal only happens with the support of listeners like you. So thanks so much for your consideration, and anything you can spare helps. Thanks so much. Cheers.